Hey guys, my name is Mannequin. Welcome to EDM Pro Tips. So this is going to be a series that I'm just not necessarily doing tutorials, but I'm kind of just talking about things that are relatively useful in terms of learning EDM, getting new sounds, experimenting, and stuff like that. So today I wanted to talk about basically getting started with like making a track. And I don't necessarily mean like an intro. I mean like how do you really start with a track? So typically what I tend to do is I have, various things I start with. Sometimes I'll just start with the drum loop. Sometimes I'll start with the drop. Sometimes I'll start with the melody. But that's kind of just me. Unfortunately, it's not like entirely intuitive how to like start a track and get it fleshed out to be a whole track. So my suggestion is if you're new to EDM production and you kind of like know how things work and stuff like that, but you don't really know how to come up with a whole track per se, like you got an idea, but you don't really know how to expand it and make it really a cohesive track. My suggestion is you take another track and don't like remake the track, but you look at that track, throw it into Logic, look at where are things put in, where are things taken out, where do things change and stuff like that, and copy the track's format, not the sound of the track. Just get like, if it starts out with a kick drum and hat, choose your kick drum, choose a hat, and then just make a loop that's the same duration. And then let's say it brings in a bass line. Okay, make your bass line, bring it in at the same time. And then you just kind of do that throughout the entirety of the track and follow the exact structure of the track. Don't copy the synthesizers or the sounds, because in the end then you can't really use the song and say it's one of your own. But what this does is it allows you to have creativity while at the same time you know where you're going with the track. Every time something is brought in or taken out, you do the same. It doesn't have to sound the same. Like if he uses a crash effect, like a crash cymbal, then maybe you could use some sort of downlifter instead, like a white noise drop or something like that. So that's kind of something you could do to experiment and learn song structure, because that's one of the biggest things that happens when you have a piece of a song that you got an idea for, but you don't really know how to make it that full track. Most of the reason is because you're not entirely familiar with the song structure of the particular genre you're working in. So like I said, my suggestion is that you take a song, throw it into Logic, and then from there just kind of look at what that artist did and follow the same structure when it comes to adding things and removing things and stuff like that, and just see if you could be creative and make a track, but at the same time your track is cohesive and fleshed out. So that way when you're done, not only did you learn start to finish how to get a song, but you also have the opportunity to post that song up, because all you're copying is a structure, which you'll learn that structure is very similar between tracks of the same genre. So you don't really have to worry about the fact that you're copying the track, because essentially structure is genre almost in some cases. Like the only difference between some genres of music is the structure. Well, that's not all cases, it is some cases. So you don't have to worry about the fact that you copied their structure. That is the best way to start to finish make your first song. Just grab someone else's song, copy the structure, but be unique when choosing what to put in there. Just copy the structure. So it does take some listening, it does take some practice, and you won't necessarily get it on your first try, but just really one of the biggest things to improving is listening. So we'll say 50% of EDM production is listening to other music. 30% is creativity, like coming up with your own thing, and 20% is actually going in, sitting down, and doing that and making your track. So really, 50% is listening to other stuff, just kind of coming up with, basically having a pool of ideas to draw from. 30% is creativity, where you're taking that pool and you're coming up with something that isn't in that pool, or is kind of like a twist on something that already is in there. And then 20% is just actually sitting down and doing it. So really, it's a lot of music listening. You got to listen to a lot of types of music. You can even listen outside to other genres, and you'll learn a lot about things you could do with your own tracks. That's where you get things like the acoustic sounds in trance. Trance is typically this big, tons of supersaws everywhere, floating pads, but then you get like these violin parts or these piano parts or even guitar parts that are just amazing. And even in dubstep, you see things like they add they add a rock guitar somewhere, and then they start to do like chops to it or something to give it some variety. Or, you know, just in tons of other genres, they do things like that. They just take from another genre and either take that instrument and apply it to their genre, or they take that instrument along with its sound from that genre and put it in there, and you get a twist on the original genre you're working in. So that's an idea for how you could kind of come up with ideas for things to do, and just really starting a track and getting it, you know, fully fleshed out to be an entire track that actually fits that fits the structure kind of expected of that style. So that's it for this video. I do want to mention here that I have a Patreon. I'll put a link right there. So that link, it's got, like, you know, what I'm going to be doing with the channel in the future, and an opportunity for you guys to help out and donate to the channel. So thank you guys for taking your time to watch this, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.